Good day. Today we are carrying on our videos, online courses, and we are talking about the processor. So how does the processor communicate with the RAM and the hard drive and the other parts? So the processor communicates with the RAM through what we call external database, or what we call front side bus. This is like what can I say, something like a highway where the charge passes through. All right, now you might ask, how does then the CPU know where to correct maybe a video that is located far here in a hard drive? All right, so to explain this, and it's very important that a technician must understand a bit the basic information behind the whole thing. Okay, so what happens is that the CPU has got its own speed, the RAM has got its own speed, the hard drive has its own speed, and we can see the hard drive is running at a very slow pace compared to the RAM and compared to the processor itself. The processor is being controlled by this guy here. If you can look there is this guy here, that guy. That one is a system crystal. A system crystal is something that controls the speed of the whole CPU and the box. So it sets the bit at which the processor can run. And remember, the processor, like the old one, the 1888 that was made around 1970s, was running at a 1 megahertz. Alright, so that is what we call a clock speed. The processor is running on its speed, we call it a clock speed. So one clock speed, one cycle is like a one charge on external database will make the CPU or that at which the CPU run, that's the speed at which the CPU will run. So remember, the clock, for the CPU to act, it will wait for the clock to signal that a request has been done from either RAM or the hard drive or something, that the instructions are done. Okay, then the what you call the clock wire will indicate, will say, okay, this thing is now done, you must act. So it will run that. But remember, the speed, the CPU will only react to that signal if it is placed at least in 2 cycles, because a single one charge, it won't make it on. Understand? That's what I'm trying to say. So it has to wait for the second one, then it comes on. So the maximum, the clock speed will need at least, the PC will need at least two commands before the recycle has started, or before it responds to the action. So the clock speed is actually the CPU speed at which the CPU must run. It will never run beyond that. Understand? It will never run beyond that. And the guy that determines the clock or the speed of the processor is that guy, the system crystal. So most of the CPUs that were done around maybe years back were running on like 1 megahertz and that, but the CPU of today will run around 1 gigahertz, 1 billion per second. You see, so it's a bit bigger than the one that was running before. So all this is happening between through what we call a charge that goes between that external database. So in a simple term, we can just say the processor takes its signals, or they communicate with RAM and other parts of the CPU through the external data bus, or the flat side bus that is connecting both of all these parts. Now, the speed at which a CPU can run is controlled by its clock speed. That is the maximum of speed that it can run. If the speed of its clock speed is maybe 1 megahertz, it will not run more than that. If the speed is maybe 3 megahertz, it will run there. And this system crystal will set a beep at which the whole CPU and the whole thing of the CPU system, the system crystal, is the one that sets the beat or the speed of that. So the CPU will never run beyond the system crystal speed that is set. This guy there, this guy right there, will determine the speed at which the computer must run. So I don't know if I did make sense there, but it is very important to actually understand how the CPU and the RAM and the hard drive communicate. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention is that remember, the CPU is only understand a programming language. So whatever signal goes on here is simply like a charge that is put on external database, and that signal can either be on or off. It can be either true or false. So most of the signal that comes here, what we call them is ones and zeros. Okay, so whatever signal that is traveling between these things can either be on or off. It's either zeros and ones, and that is what the computer understands. We will go a bit further later on other videos that is coming, and we will try to understand better. I know I might not be clear enough somehow, but I will actually appreciate for any comments, and you can actually ask questions if there is any other questions. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there for this video, and the next video that we are going to look at is understanding the uses of other parts like RAM, North Bridge, South Bridge, hard drive, PCI, and all that battery that is there. We're gonna come with other videos in the future. I really appreciate. Please subscribe, like, and share the video for your support. Is highly appreciated. Thank you.